So today we are creating these beautiful envelopes. You can use them for any cards. I'm using there for ATC sending, and we are creating the front and back, and I will show you some tips and tricks that how you are not overdo your things so that you have a little space to write the address as well as everything bind together with the theme. I make cards and this time I make sending ATCs.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Renuka and today we want to do something different projects. So these are the ATC card I made for the photo school, and we need to exchange them, trade them. So basically these are the Indian theme uh, trade ATC cards, and now I want to put some fodder inside as well as create a beautiful envelope for them. So I chose this A2 size envelope, and as you know I don't want to send them the envelope very blank. So what I can do is I can color them and then I can put the things inside. Okay, so I have my envelopes ready. Then I create some fodder during that which I use in this. So I decided to punch out some of them, and same with the ATC cards. So here I'm using the 1-inch punch to punch out the circles so that I can send few of them to the recipients, and maybe a few of them we can use to decorate the card, which I didn't decide yet that what I want to do with them. But after punching them, you can see that we have this beautiful thing. So I will not throw it. We can use that also. And before heading out, I can tell you, if you are creating something, and then you can mix and match the things like this, and out of it you can create some kind of project, or you can put them in anything, and mixing and matching the things will give you that beautiful effect on them. And then I'm tentatively going to put it between, and um, those are the stuff. Again, I will use the same stencils I'm using in this. So I'm going to use the same stencils, these, and we will use the distress inks. I already choose my rainbow color of the distress ink, and maybe I'll use few of the stamps which I don't use in the photo but I can use. Same time, in that envelope I'm planning to put some of these images which I already use there, but maybe some of them I can share with the participant, and I can punch out more hearts with them. Another thing I want to show here is, before starting this namaste, so I want to print out all of this. What is the meaning of the namaste? I'm going to cut out that and put in the photo. So let's jump into the decorating our envelopes. Okay, so this is my envelopes, and I'm just putting this sheet behind them to catch the ink, because I don't want to, I don't want everything to dirty. I want them very nicely done. And I'm gonna stencil. I will use the stencils and the same color, and then we're gonna stamp some of these. But before doing that, I want to add little bit of these. So when I create a folder, I just put these paper behind coloring the papers, and some of times I have the excess ink, so I just use those inks on this paper. These are, some of them are tissue paper, rice paper, and I think this one is the paper which we call the all-purpose paper. I don't know, I use this in my stash and they call it deli paper, and it's very thin and having tissue like structure, and at the same time there is one side is little bit of coated, so the part is not see-through. So if you see the back side of it, this paper is kind of a messy with all the colors, but when I put mark on it, it get a really nice marks on it, and I'll show you how I made those marks.
So making these marks are very easy. These are the papers which I use for the scraps, where I just collect all those colors which is like falling on the table. By the way, I always use the Tim Holtz glass mat so that I can collect that colors whatever on the that table mat, and it's easily grasped. So some of these are wax paper, tissue papers, as well as sometimes I use the daily papers, and then I color them. Sometimes I spritz them more to get more vibrancy in the colors. And here I use the paintbrush. You can use the acrylic brush or acrylic ink, and I use some of the paintbrush. Some of times I use for mark making the back of the pencil. You can explore your tools and create your marks. I just made the simple marks, and all these colors are already in my TC, so they're gonna match perfectly together. If you are making these for your particularly handmade card, or you are sending a letter, so try to match those colors in them and then put it apart, so that you will get the cohesive look out of them. Try not to do over, like try not to do overdo, like don't do it too much so that you will cover the full envelope. This is an A2 envelope, this is not that big enough, so I'm kind of thinking on that. And then I'm using here uhu stick for a gluing. You can use whatever things you have. You can use the crafters glue, any glue. And these stencils I already use to make the my fodder in these ACTs. So I'm kind of choosing the same thing. The same time I'm using these rainbow colors pattern, which is a kind of theme of the ATCs, and then I'm just using and dabbing the brush. So I'm not doing much fancy things. I will show you one technique here, that how you can go ahead and create the two-tone effect, like one on other colors. You can use the distress inks as I'm using, or you can use any other inks, whatever you have in your stash. If you don't have the inks, you can do the same thing with the acrylic paints or the watercolor paints. You have to lay them and dilute them on the flat surface, maybe a tray, and then you can pick them from the stamp. Maybe another video I can do that. So these stencils, I don't have descriptions from them. I bought them from the India with the local market. But basically, if you search some kind of mandala stencils on the Amazon, you will get these kind of stuff. My stencils are 6 by 6. You can find bigger or smaller according to your project. You can choose them. Why I'm using here the distress inks, cause I can control the fading effect of them. I'm not going very heavy handedly. I'm just want to add little bit colors on those envelope, but same times I don't want to color the full envelope. This is not my the main project. My main project is already very colorful. Here I'm just decorating these envelopes so that the participant can tear apart this envelope and they can have all these and use as a fodder. So basically, I'm sending a fodder as an envelope, and that is the fun thing. And if they don't want to, they can keep it and use it just like they want. So you can do here huffing and buffing technique by putting the one color and another color on the stamp, and then just do like that, and then you can get the two-tone effect. Same for the stencils also, you can use two colors, like here I'm using pink and purple, and you will get the two-tone effect very easily. Try to take a bigger stencil rather than a very minute detailed stencil. This one is, I think, my crafty, my favorite thing, stamps. Yeah, and I'm just adding little bit of border. There is nothing special here. You can mix and match your stuff. If you want to use the same borders or same stamps you're using in your project, you can do that also. In the same way, you can create a big paper and tear apart it and make a folder also. But here I'm talking about the envelope, so I'm just showing you the different color combinations which I love to make. And this stamp is just for the borders ones, and here also you can make it two-tone, one-tone, and then you can do it. Don't go ahead with the darker inks, cause it will not look good, it will look very clumsy. Only the dark part in my envelope is those marks with the black. Everything else is very, very subtle. um just because it's a video, it might be getting like more vibrant, but in real life they are so subtle that they are kind of mixing together. Whenever I make cards, I made these kind of matching envelopes if you watch my channel. But this time I just decided to send these as ATC, so I thought it would be really nice idea to do the two-tone effect stamping on the salt stamps as well as these small inks. You can use the distress oxides also for this kind of technique. And if you want to use archival or other inks, try to take a lighter shades and go little like very light-handedly. Don't go the very, very heavy-handed, because it then give you a really, really, dark envelope, and then it's become harder to write on them. But by the way, if you do that, there is a simple another technique to put the address on your envelope. Just print or write down your address on the white paper or a label, and then cut it a square or a rectangle, and then stick that on the paper. So here I already just make all these envelopes, and then I'm kind of matching those colors of the ATCs where I think it's look nice. I'm not thinking much, but yeah, you can see. And then I'm gonna put little bit of water, as I told you before, which I just decided to add these. And then I'm gonna put the stamps on the top right side of the corner. I'm using the forever stamps from postal services, UPS. And then I just gonna put one more thank you or something like that inside, and that is the envelopes we did today.
I'm so happy how they turn out, and now I'm putting little bit of fodder as well as the printout of namaste so that everyone can understand what is mean by that. And I put the name of this like taste of India So I'm giving little bit of India to everyone as my fellow participants in the fodder school, and I hope whoever get this, I want to put a little bit of smile on their face. And in this way you can create envelope for anything you are using, as well as in this way you can decorate your greeting card envelopes. These are just a small bit how I did for this project, but you can use this same idea for any size of envelope, as well as you can create anything you like accordingly. So until the next crafty project, have a crafty life. Bye bye, take care.